and welcome to day 16 of the Movement and Meditation Challenge. Today we're going to work on a fundamental movement called the hip hinge. So step one, let's figure out where our actual hips are located. And so a lot of people will point to their hips and point to the back of their body, which is where your pelvis is. It's actually your SI joints, so your sacroiliac joints are in the back part of your body. Your hips are on the side. So if you place a hand on the side of your hip, rotate your leg in and out, you should feel like a bump move. That is where your femur, which is your leg bone, connects to your pelvis. So we're going to work on being able to pick up things from the ground using our hips, which allows us to use more of our glutes to pick things up as opposed to our low back. Your spine is super strong. Don't need to stress about it a lot, but just there's more efficient ways to do some things. So we're going to start with keeping our knees not completely locked, but just like a soft bend, and pretend like we're bowing, like, you know, you're royalty and you want to bow to that person. So you kind of have to sink your butt back a little bit and up. And so this motion isn't this, it's this. Okay. You can do the same thing with your knees locked. Basically pivoting from that point where we had found earlier. So if you needed to pick something up from the ground, I'm gonna use a pillow, but let's pretend like my pillow is something heavier, like maybe a child or a barbell or some sort of something that we want to pick up from the floor. So we're going to do that same motion, right? That load, and then bend our knees and pick up. Okay? So we are fancy. Bend the knees and pick up. From the side. We can reverse it too. So let's say you have something in your hands that you need to put on the ground. Instead of slumping and putting it down, if it were heavy, it might be a little bit more challenging, but we're gonna bow. So sink into our hips, bend our knees, and come up. This is something that I work with people that are having low back pain. It's like one of the first things that I work on is like actually using your hips as opposed to your low back so that we can get that pain to decrease. So if you're having some low back pain, try this when you're picking something up from the ground and